Welcome back, all my dears, to Singer Dad Reacts. My name is Josh, and I'm here to do another Dimash reaction. And this one is for SOS of a Man in Distress by Daniel Balavoine. Hopefully I pronounced that right. This, of course, is the same song that he sang for the 2017 Singer competition and also at his Bastel concert. So I've already reacted to two versions of this at this point. So this will be my third. But a lot of you had some comments about this particular performance, and so I'm excited to kind of hear how Dimash has grown and matured with his voice and his interpretation of the song. And as many of you have said, my experience at least is that every performance of a song that Dimash provides is different, right? So he has a different take, and it's very unique in some way because of the way that he's always trying to kind of reinvent himself and add more to each performance of the songs he does. So I'm sure that this one is going to be great. So I'm going to go through the English translation of the lyrics, which is something I don't think I did for the other two reactions, actually, I don't think. Yeah, because the second SOS reaction I did for Bastel, I didn't do the lyrics because it was part of the groups that I did. So I skipped the lyrics. So here's the English translation of the lyrics. Hopefully it's accurate. My French speakers out there can comment on that, if you will. Why do I live? Why do I die? Why do I laugh? Why do I cry? Here is the SOS of a man in distress. I've never had both feet upon the ground. I'd rather be a bird. I don't fit into this skin. I'd like to see the world turned upside down, if ever it were beautiful. It's lovelier from above, from above. I've always confused life with the comic strips, even wished I could transform. I feel something that draws me, that draws me, that draws me up into the great lotto of the universe. I don't have the right numbers. I don't fit into this skin. I don't want to be a robot, eating, working, sleeping. Why do I live? Why do I die? Why do I scream? Why do I cry? I think I'm catching waves from another world. I've never had both feet upon the ground. I'd rather be a bird. I'd like to see the world turned upside down. I'd rather be a bird. Sleep, child, sleep. Yeah. There's a lot of it. There's a lot of imagery in this song, you know, where it's like stepping outside yourself, right? And kind of trying to look at the world through a different perspective. It brings to mind, so I was watching the other day some videos of people that are colorblind. I don't know if you guys have seen these or not, but they make these special glasses that colorblind people can put on, and it allows them to see the colors for the first time. And so, you know, I really enjoy, and these are grown men a lot of times, and they're just weeping because they haven't seen real color. And when they put these on, then they can see their families, they can see all the beauty around them for the first time. And it really is enlightening to me to see these people be able to experience that for the first time, and the special moment that is that they have with their families, right? To experience that awakening of that beauty that this person is undertaking together. And so this kind of reminded me of that, right? As far as being able to see the world from a different perspective, from a bird's perspective, where you can see all the beauty and you can look at it from a distance. And sometimes I know in my life, you know, I need that. I need to kind of step away and not be so close to everything going on, where it's just adding stress to my life and to my feelings, right? If I can step outside of it and kind of simplify it and look for the beauty that's around me and the blessings that I have and the many freedoms that I'm granted, and the many gifts I've been given in my life that make me so blessed. if I can have that approach, that kind of attitude of gratitude, then it makes a huge difference. So that's kind of what I take from this, is that we need to be able to look at things from a different perspective, kind of see it that way, from like a child's perspective or from a bird, just kind of see the beauty from afar and appreciate it for what it is. So that's my take. And with that, I'll go right on to the performance here. So again, this is from the Slavic Bazaar from 2018. And I did get the version that has the English subs on it. So I've used these in the past, and it's from the wonderful people at the Deutschland Dimash channel. So a special shout out to them. I've used several of their videos that they've done where they add the English translations in there, and it's been very helpful to me. So let's get started here. If you haven't already, if you could please subscribe and click on the notification bell to receive any notifications of my other Dimash reactions or any others you may be interested in. I would greatly appreciate that.
Обладатель Гран-при международного конкурса исполнителей эстрадной песни «Витебск 2015» Димаш Кудайберген,
Казахстан.
Je vis, pourquoi je meurs, pourquoi j'arrive, pourquoi je pleure. Voici le SOS d'un rien en détresse.
He's adding more of this breathy quality to it than he did in the singer performance. It's breathy, but yet the sound is solid. The tone is right on and fuller, if that makes sense. So he's adding the breathiness to the tone, but yet he's putting behind it the power that's needed to make the tone very rich. And there were a couple little different nuances he added as well that were a little bit different. But yeah, let me go back just a little bit so it's not a weird spot.
Voici le SOS d'un rien en détresse. J'ai mûri hier sur toi. Je me prendrai boisson, je seule dans ma peau. Je voudrais voler montagne avant. Je me sentais plus beau, le beau dans nous. Je te jure qu'au fond de la vie, avec les bons décennies, j'ai comme deux zombies, tu me t'avance, je sens quelque chose qui m'attire, qui m'attire, qui m'attire, voler.
Again, with Dimash, you have to stop and think. What he's doing is crazy hard and beyond the level of pretty much anybody else on the planet. It's funny because you compare him to himself, right? So just like I was talking about and comparing this to his other performances, right? But you still have to just stop and think, okay, what he's doing is just crazy. Jumping between his registers, singing as high as he does in a mixed voice where he's putting the power behind the head voice to create more of the kind of the chest voice sound to it. And just singing with so much power. And he's amazing. Completely just blows away anyone else with what he can do. So let me go back here. He's definitely taking this performance slower, I think. It's more of a slow pace than he did with the other one, and maybe that's because he can. The other one, he probably had kind of a time limit type thing or something. I don't know if that's what it is, but he's taking this one slower and just kind of really bringing it, the feeling behind, trying to bring the feeling behind it and everything. It's a little different take. Like I said, I mean, every performance will be different. So open. Wow. Breath control. In the big lottery of the universe. Okay. See, this is different. So this is similar to what he did in the Bastille version, which was different from the Singer version, and that is he keeps the mic close to his mouth for that high note so that it carries through longer. In the Singer competition, he kind of took the microphone away from his mouth a little soon, actually, I think, and so that cut the note short. So he does the same thing here. He holds it closer so the note carries through longer. I'm going to rewind that just real quick here. Wow. Why do I live? Why do I die?
Pourquoi je ris? Pourquoi je pleure? J'y crois comme elle est haute. Elle était notre amour.
We've already seen waves from another world, so that's a little different. A little different. Sleep as a child does. Okay. Wow.
Димаш Кудайберген, Казахстан. И море поклонников блестящего артиста на славянском базаре.
Браво! Thank you.
Похоже, сегодня Басков
It seems
без
that
цветов.
Baskov, popular Russian singer, does not get any flowers or something. What did he say? I missed that song.
Похоже, сегодня Басков без цветов.
Oh, does not get any flowers today.
Димаш Кудайберген. Браво!
Спасибо большое.
Bravo. Thank you very much.
Разрешите сказать пару
I
слов
say a few words from the bottom of my heart.
от всей души.
Thank you, dear audience, for
Хочу
everything
поблагодарить вас,
since I
дорогие зрители, за то,
participated in the
что
Slavic Bazaar.
когда я участвовал на
The
славянском
bazaar,
базаре
as
в
a
качестве
participant,
участника,
helped me
помогли мне с моей карьерой.
from my career.
И
And
славянский базар
For young
для молодых
artists,
артистов
the
очень
Slavic
много значит,
Bazaar
действительно.
means really a
Я от
lot.
всей души
I would like to express to you the enormous
Хочу
thank you.
выразить вам
Come to
огромное
Kazakhstan.
благодарность. Приезжайте в Казахстан. Спасибо большое! Рахмет!
Thank you a lot. Thank you.
Димаш Кудайберген, Казахстан. Спасибо. Вот это прием!
Here's the
Где-то там
reception.
уезжает машина Баскова, друзья, я
The
вижу.
car leaves the grounds. Friend Baskov, I see. Okay. Yeah, so another amazing performance of SOS. And I think one thing I didn't comment on that as I listened there, the part where he goes up to the super high notes there, and then he kind of makes a descending run in his head voice there. And I think that was actually one of the strongest performances of that run that I've heard from his different SOS performances. It just seemed really solid for this performance. So yeah, that's one thing I did notice from this performance. And like I said, he threw in a couple little variations and nuances that were slightly different, but he still brought the same Dimash, feeling the power behind the words, and had the tenderness at the very end there with sleep as a child sleeps, right? At the very end. And you can kind of see him, and he does this throughout his performances, and you guys have mentioned it actually, where he directs the orchestra with his arm movements and his hands and things like that. So I could kind of see a little bit of that toward the very end when he sang the sleep, child sleep, and then he kind of, had his hand go down like that to indicate the cutoff, and you can kind of see the cutoff happen right after that. So he's just an amazing performer, professional, patriot, ambassador to Kazakhstan, generous-hearted individual, and an incredible vocalist. I just can't fathom what he can do with his voice. It's otherworldly, as people have said. I mean, it's just beyond comprehension. I don't like to compare the performances. This is definitely a super strong performance, and he seemed to handle it with ease, really. I mean, I think, and I don't know if he was nervous or what with the singer version of the singer performance of this song. I think what it was, one of you pointed it out, I think it's that he was really, raw was a word that someone used, I think, to describe the singer performance. And because it was very important to him, there was a lot on the line. It was like his first performance for the singer competition to kind of get, put himself out there to the world, to China specifically, as far as his talent and what he could do. So there was a lot of pressure probably that he was feeling to really hit it out of the park for that performance. So he's in a different place for this. He's a person of honor for this particular bazaar, and so it's a little different as far as the context of the venue and the nature of the performance and things like that. So, but he gave another amazing performance, and Yeah. What he can do with traversing between his registers and controlling his vocal cords. I talk about that on my other reactions, but a lot of what he does that you don't see going on is happening right here, in this voice box, this larynx that you can see, like my Adam's apple there. I mean, that's all of it sits right behind there. And if you could see what was going on there, you'd be amazed, because what he does with the vocal cords, there's a lot of, you would probably see a lot of this type of thing going on with his vocal cords as he kind of moves among his different registers, from his chest voice into his head voice, using his mixed, the whistle tone, of course. All of that has different characteristics and requires different ways of manipulating the voice box and the vocal folds there to make that happen. Not to mention the breath control that has to sit behind all that and to provide the air and all that. So he is a master of the voice. He's a gold medal athlete of the voice, yeah, he's up there. Anyway, so thank you all again for your support, and if you haven't already, if you could please subscribe and click on the notification bell. Also, I do have my Patreon channel out there. It's at patreon.com/SingerDadReacts. I am starting to put more content out there, like a behind the scenes of my recording studio. And I'm putting some stuff out there from some of my blocked reactions and some of my original artist reactions that I don't put out on the main channel. So things like that are out there as far as exclusive content. So take a look at what I have, what I provide, and the tiers, and see if that interests you. And it's really a way to give back to the channel. I'm also working on merchandise. So I'm looking to provide a merchandise for you that are interested in buying that as well. So if you have any feedback on any of that or suggestions or anything like that, feel free to comment down below. And I hope all of you are doing well and you're happy and healthy and being able to spend quality time with your loved ones and your family. And again, thank you for your support, and take care.